Spawning at the bottom left of sequencer. The yellow Zerg player is Sitaska. And the top right of sequencer. The purple Protoss player is Horsemaster. Okay. So the first pylon and the main ramp, isn't it too close? I think she's gonna have to put a gateway there and a cybernetics gear. Like, I think this is too close. Like, you have 3 squares there and 3 squares there, I think. But let's see what happens next and how the building placement will turn out to be. Sitaska is going for the quick overload, of course, probably building the hatchery first. Or just, could be the pool as well, but I don't think so, as she's, okay. Yeah, taking the drone here to just hatchery first. I think this is a pretty okay-ish map to do so. As Protoss and as Zerg, you have a very long rush distance. So Lings might not be of the best situation if you just go for a pull first here in case of aggressions, or I would say Sitaska, if she goes for pull first, that's to build a couple Lings and harass her opponent out, and I don't see that happening on that map, just for the sole reason that this, I think this is, yeah, the command here. Bulls being planted down, but yeah, look at this. This is the distance. What the unit's path is to reach the other one's base. This is a lot of frigging distance here. Yeah, as I thought. That's 3 square space here. So, first gas, and I think the Nexus will be there as soon as possible when the 400 minerals will be there. On the other side we still have Sitaska. I think just gearing up for the classical start for Zergs, as we have the build order being pumped out really nicely. We have the pool that will be spawning at approximately the same time as the hatchery, and we have 100 gas at the moment this one will hatch up. So basically it all sets up for 2 queens and the speedling research, as well as you can build a couple Lings as well. So I think everything will go nicely for Sitaska in this first few minutes of the games. And we have on the other side another gateway being pumped out by Horsemaster, not going for the Nexus quicker than expected, and we still have a second gas. So is it gonna be something nasty? 4 Lings being thrown down, 2 queens on the way, and I'm not sure. I think that you will have, I think it's even safer to go for Nexus first on that one, even that if that ramp is a little bit hard to defend and you have rocks there. Like on long distance maps like this, you have a lot of advantage going for a quick expansion instead of going for something that is really aggressive. As I've just said for a Sitaska, oh, look at that spread, look at this, love the spread. I think this is something that she practiced a lot though, because to do it so nicely, I think, yeah, this definitely is something that she had to practice a lot and get used to in every single minute. I think this is like the build order that Sitaska goes for every ZVP, being like, well, I want to be safe and just spread every single unit I can out, and with that link, that just one link that goes against the opponent and the other ones that are just scrolling around the base is really like one direct Xanagas, and well, I think she just minimap clicked them, but that's the intent here, and the intent is very good on that side. And with that link, she saw that Horsemaster didn't have an expansion, as well as this overload, confirming it with the timing. This overload's gonna die though, but getting the exact timing of that one can be a good information for the. It definitely means that your opponent spent their minerals on something else during that time, and this is what you want to find out. As right now Sitaska is like, well, I've seen that she didn't take a third Nexus, and I feel confident enough that I can hold anything that could happen with just a couple Lings. So I'll just get a third hatchery, and when the harassment comes up, probably at 4:30, it's the timing where are expecting an assault from Protosses. 4:30 is the time where you get stuff, and I think that right now getting the hatchery will just get you out more lava, even though if you sacrifice 300 minerals in the early stages of the game, that's not too bad. Let's face it, you have more lava and you have a possibility to exploit more minerals on this base as well. Though this one has shorter mineral batches and a shorter gas. No, the gas is identical, but we have only one geyser, so it all makes it up for the same thing. Though we have a push gearing up here, Baneling bust coming in, and we have no wall. We have very light units there. So overload there. I'm not so sure right now. What will happen? Look at this. Look at this happening. Oh, overcharge would be a good call right now. I think Horsemaster didn't notice yet though, and all the Baneling's gonna rush in, taking lots of these probes out. 4 probes taken away. Now the overcharge being called down. The speedling is not there yet. and I don't think the research has been. Yeah, she realized it. Speedling's not there. Wait, something's wrong. Let's research it right now. 4 probes out of 6 banelings, it's not really worth it, but I think the damaging intent was there, and now Horsemaster's feeling a little bit more compressed in her build order, I think. Like, she's feeling the pressure right now. Like, her Zerg opponent was going for an assault in the early game, and she's feeling like, well, if she's going aggressive, I'm just gonna be defensive at home. This Observer, though, can be bringing a new perspective of this match that is coming up, though. I think this is close. I think that, yeah, it's totally seen here. The Abathur voice. Of course. For adepts, yeah, I think. Okay, Templar. So is it gonna be a Glaive Archon High Templar thing, or I'm not so sure what's the plan here for Horsemaster. And right now it's feeling really late. By this time, most Protoss players will have a saturated natural and probably starting to saturate their third. And I think that the harassment from before actually triggered that lack of how to say, like, she's not following the build order precisely, and that's what that's the cause of Sitaska's aggression before. So well, have lots of trouble to speak tonight. Woo! First few links meeting the army of the Protoss side here. Though this is a scary force, she doesn't have that many units right now, but I think right now, seeing that push, 16 links on the way, and we have the Hydra Dens producing right now. Okay, getting that overseer is a good call with the Observer here. Could be able to clear out all the creep tumors. And I think this is the wrong place for Sitaska to fight. Now she can retreat and probably gear up for more, but these banelings will make the difference though. There's a lot of light units here as a presence of Zealots and Adepts, so I think that if, yeah, more links being pumped out, and I think this is going to be very painful if Horsemaster doesn't recall, because she doesn't have the means to hold that assault if more links come up. A good snipe here on the creep tumors, but yeah, just falling back, I think making sure that nothing happens is one of the key points here in these engagements. You need to have force fields to zone out these guys and these guys as well. So, and in these guys we still have High Templars in morphing, and I've tried to make a pun here. Just support me, guys. Please. Is the fight coming up? Oh, the Archon push here with the... No, don't focus that rock. I think this is the time. Oh. This Archon could be completely out here. I think removing that rock will be a harder fight here for Horsemaster. Now the Zerglings can have a free way to just circle the whole army and just exploit their full damage onto them. No, getting the Mothership Core is a huge deal here. It means that now Horsemaster has to deal all the damage right now or just go home. And she doesn't have any escape solution right now, so it's all about how Sitaska can hold this attack. And there's a lot of units there. I think that with the 28 links coming up, that's not gonna be a problem anymore. Lots of units are roaming on the way. Now we don't have the prism around. Yeah, it is there, but right now all the links are focusing on the Stalkers, Immortal, Archon Force. Though these Hydras are doing a damage, but I'm not so sure right now. Horsemaster still doing a decent amount of damage in this side. 22 more links? I'm not... What is happening? What is happening? We still see more Immortals being produced on Horsemaster's side, though. She will probably be able to clear successfully that base, I'm not so sure. Right now the focus fire is really good on Horsemaster's side, not getting too much damage from this link with the wall here that she's making with the units, and now everything's actually just dying out from that assault. And this Archon staying alive makes the difference here in that. No, don't go back, you can snipe that base here. It's making the difference here in that call. Taking that hatchery is a huge deal here. We still have Hydralisk and Zerglings being produced out. This one died for free, don't know. More Hydras dying for free. And Horsemaster's actually doing a fair job right now. Even though taking this Archon will do a fair amount of DPS less, we still have a high amount of adepts for what's left of Sitaska's units right now. I'm not so sure that Sitaska can take it up right now, and well, we still have a difference in supply. 12 army against 42. GG Cold Straight, making the difference here. Horsemaster takes game number 1 in this best of 5. Spawning on the bottom right of Ascension to Higher, it is the Yellow Zerg player being led 1-0 in this best of 5. Sitaska. on the other side of the map on Ascension to Aya. The Protoss player that brilliantly did an all-in past game, it was very interesting to see, so it is Horsemaster. Again with the close ground pylon. I think this is 3 square again. I really think this is 3 square, but though this space is allowing for another building without blocking that path here. But yeah, I think this is just enough to wall it. Yeah. Isn't it possible for the probe to go around that way? Ah. Would be interesting to do so. I'll probably watch in replay later on after the cast though. Hatchery first on Ascension to Ayado. This is right to do so. The first probe after the pylon, this is right to scout. Basically you can see when there's a pool first being planted down, and this is the whole purpose of that guy just roaming around that base, seeing like the hatchery. Well, there's no pool if there's a hatchery. This is the basic reflection of the scout here. Gas, then the pool on the side here, just behind the gas. Rolling that side up for adepts. Good call here, and yeah, as I thought, this is not possible to wall it up with this gateway, but really we'll have the cybernetics called there instead, and the wall can be done there if you just put a pylon there to avoid the the square situation when you have one bit of a square then the diagonal squares meeting each other. You could build a pylon there, because if you have just a unit that makes one square in an area where both squares that you are walling off are in a diagonal position, basically links can squeeze in by either side if the walling's not right. So this is a very complicated situation to explain, but I would need a practical example for that. But as you can see, this is walling up fine. But as you can as well notice here, there's a very short space that could be exploited there. So walling walling, this is hard. This is hard as Protoss. The Protoss life is hard here. Mothership Core is being on the way. 4 links as the game started before. Probably spreading these links will be another deal once more. And I think that right now this is one of the strengths of Sitaska. Really not scared of any sort of proxies that could happen. This is a good way to open a game with. Though getting both Xelnagas will be the job done here. This one will get the Xelnaga, and this one will just scroll around. This one on the third probably. Exactly. Okay. This is all timing. Everything's been scouted though so far with the Overlord. I don't think she needs right now to send that link up front and see the Mothership Core because it's seen there. But we have a Zealot Stalker opener. As Protoss against Zerg, this is not a very common thing to do. As you want probably more adepts because they're very easy to manipulate between bases, because probably Zergs have been doing recently more and more drop tactics in the early game. So you want adepts for the plus light damage and as well for the mobility they provide in the early stages of the game. Let's see what happens as the Zealot is more consistent DPS against links though, and tankier as well. So the Stalker will successfully clean that overall, but on the process this one will be able to see the robotics facility and the rest of the gateways, and it's gonna be a remake of last game basically. Sitaska could be identifying right now that it is the same amount of buildings and approximately the same thing that happens before in that game 1 on Sequencer, so she could be reacting well to that right now. 11 roaches, I like this a lot. So basically Ravager attack here on such an open area, this is going to be disastrous for a Horsemaster. If she doesn't prepare well, this could lead to a defeat instantly. If no more pylons are planted down, there's no sentries, and well, no consistent DPS units such as Immortals, well, we're gonna have to deal with a huge amount of units. From the Protoss side we have almost nothing yet, but 3 gateways being morphed into Warp Gate, and look at this march of victory right here. This looks very scary. The Observer sees it all. Okay, well, what happens now? I think that, yeah, right now gathering the army is the key point here. Probably calling Overcharger early. Could be the change there as well. These roaches will go in, and now it starts, and I think, yeah, she can afford to lose a couple roaches if she snipes that one down. No, the links are rushing in as well, coupling the DPS of these roaches, and not the circling everything. No, I think the links could actually attack on the Immortal here. This one's gonna perish through the DPS. Boom! No units left here. All these roaches are making the job here, taking even all of these adepts, and adepts are not the best units to counter roaches here. And it's gonna be shown in a few seconds as these ones will die out. Everything is still alive, and she could probably morph Ravagers out of these almost dead roaches to keep them alive for a bit. 4 probes, 6, 7, 8, and probably more than 13 in total taken down with that one coming up. And well, probably the base going along with it. This DPS from the Mothership core will not be enough to deal with the rest of the roaches. 3 Stalkers are actually an answer against roaches, but not against Zergling, as you can see right now here. Both of them are being circled. All the DPS taken down here on these Stalkers. 1 alive against 7 roaches and 8 Lings. This is not probably making the call here. The base is lost. And look at this. The rest of this army is now... well... there's only 1 immortal left. If she had DTs, man, if she had DTs, wouldn't that be a completely different fight? Like going for Twilight instead and DT straight. Poison style, you know. Morphing them Ravagers is actually the right call because they're not gonna have the armor tag and they're gonna spawn with full life. So it's a way to regenerate your roaches with a not so cheap call, but at least, yeah. I think right now, yeah, the focus should be on the roach because they have the armor tag. So basically 3 shot by these immortals, and now after that they could be taken care of. These Ravagers, but no, these 2 immortals die out. There's nothing left on that side. 1 immortal in the production tab, and we have 80 minerals against. Still a lot of harassment here with these Ravagers, and yeah, I think spawning on the low ground here is the wrong decision because, well, they're gonna see it, and I think Sitaska, as soon as she trades units, the better she is, because she's gonna have the third base running up with lots of drones soon, injections going up, and the more Horsemaster waits with the base and the expansion, and the worse it's gonna be for her, because she's not gonna be able to keep up with the rest of the units here that she's gonna be being thrown at. So, well, this is being morphed in, scared of DTs, of course. I think this is the right call though, and we have still Lings in the main base on the other side. So look at this spread. Nothing can be unseen. Sitaska knows if there's a prism rushing out of the map, and she could probably drop some Lings as well on the main base while attacking on the natural instead. She has absolute leeway on what to do, and she can actually propose any sort of attack and be coming out victorious through the trades, because as we've seen earlier, Horsemaster, she's running a very low eco right now. She has to keep every single unit safe in order to come back in that game. This one single pylon will not make the cut against this many Lings, and I'm very scared about that. Just cash them outside. How about that? Getting all these Lings surrounding these immortals. The good call here on the overcharge, but now both of them lost the shields, and it's more about what can happen next with the 3 Ravagers and more things to be thrown down next. We'll still have 3 roaches, 3 queens, my bad, couple roaches, and more Lings have been spawning, I've seen spawned on the way, and I think this is actually way enough to take care of the rest. And now the overcharge is being called late, and the immortals are focusing wrongly here, though. All the Zerglings been taken away, but that's not too bad. Still have lots of Ravagers there, and if this army is just following up on these Ravagers, there's gonna be Lings around. This could show to be very deadly though. 4th hatchery being up for Sitaska. Now look at this, the economy she's building is really insane right now against Horsemaster that just has 27 workers on 2 bases. I'm not so sure on what Horsemaster can do right now. If she only builds Immortals and Archons and just waits up for like a couple minutes, this could happen wrong for Sitaska though. But we still have a huge amount of units on that side. 74 army supply to 29. Look at the supply. One gas though on the natural. Every single bit of gas has been spent on High Templars, and the rest of minerals been spent on Immortals, Adepts, and Zealots. So yes, this is a bad situation right now. Double the supply. Sitaska is just rushing in through the map, making sure that she can kill her opponent in a very short amount of time before she actually gets dangerous with more tech units such as Immortals and Archons. And so many Zergs died out on this sort of occasions because the Protoss unit had player had the time to build these high-tech units that could deal a tremendous amount of damage against everything, but look at them. The roaches just rushing in. The Immortals number 1 just perished instantly through the DPS of these roaches, and now look at them. There's only 2 Immortals, 2 Archons, and the rest of them, well, a couple more overcharges, and basically pulling back once more and waiting for no overcharges to be seen. This is what actually would lead to victory. Now this, look at them. The overcharges are not even reaching on the army, and now the rest of them are through. No, we'll pull back because we don't want to lose more roaches, and still making a lot of them in the back side here in the base. We still have the upgrades rushing in, and we have no upgrades on Horsemaster side, still holding her ground against this force, but there's gonna be more coming up, and if Sitaska takes up the Immortals very nicely, what else can be done here for Horsemaster? If there's no tech units, there's basically no life, and no life means you're dead, means you lose that game number 2, and I think this is what's gonna happen in a short moment as all these roaches are rushing into the base. There's no overcharges left. We have 2 pylons gonna perish in a short moment, and the rest, yeah, Immortals going down as well. Roaches just making the deal here, just doing the job very nicely. As expected, they're delivering their project in time. Good developers there, these roaches. I need to be done by 12 minutes. This is what these guys are doing, Stefano style. But even though these guys are there, I don't think there's gonna be enough. Look at them. There's so many units rushing through the base. This base number 2 is rushing down. And GG called down. Sitaska takes game number 2. 1-1 tie in this best of 5. Blood Boil is our map number 3, as we see spawning on the top left. The Yellow Zerg player catching up on her opponent in that last game. Sitaska. And the other side, we have on the bottom right the purple Protoss player, Horsemaster. Again with that close by to the ramp pylon. I'm not so sure right now. Like really, you can use your pylon there. Like, exposing a pylon in the wall can be a very dangerous call against Baneling busts. And you'll see that. Most Zergs will see that, will be like, well, I'm not letting that happen. I'm not letting that happen for a minute. Just gonna bust that stuff. 6 Banelings are enough for this guy, and yeah, every Zerg knows that. So this is a weakness in the wall that you don't want. If you wall with 2 tech buildings, Gateway and Cybernetic Core, it's way tougher already to deal with them. Probe Scout getting on that natural. Natural's natural, but that's not very natural because this natural is actually the natural's natural. The repeat here, but you guys followed me, right? You guys followed me. Pull gas, a gas pull at least for this build order. Gateway is about to be completed. No probe yet produced though. I think this is the time to get the cyber or get the natural, and this is what we have here. Sacrificing the probe production, getting instantly 3 probes on that gas, probably gearing up for a high. What? There's a hole. Don't build that. There's a hole. And there's a hole there. No. No. All things Protoss teaches you to wall right. I'll link that to you, Horsemaster. Pains me as a Protoss brother to see that. Spawning pool there, as we see 8 votes though on Twitter, guys, as you've seen. Keep going on these votes though. Roster. Well, thanks Judo for helping me out this time, and well, yeah, as I said, pylon here to complete the wall. Now I'm curious, will Sitaska be like, well, there's a double pylon wall, I can probably bust that stuff up and invalidate 3 and more buildings here, because Horsemaster has the habit from last game to build almost every single tech building there. And this is what leads you to be vulnerable to drop as well, because the more you're gonna build pylons in a clumped up area, the least you're gonna have vision there, and even there, in case drops happen. And this is what you want. You want pylons almost everywhere, 1 in the main row of each base and 1 in every extremity, so that you can see if stuff like drops happen, or nidus even. So, well, and this, guys, if they're invalidated, prevents everything from being completed at all. You can't warp in units anymore, you can't research any upgrades or just get buildings down on that side. Well, Artosis was the leader of this movement called the Artosis Pylon. Well, didn't go too well for him in some games, so Lessons be learned. Here, second gate here. Double Zealot, so it's gonna be a charger in against Roaches. Roaches be tough here. Roaches be very tough against Zealot, though. That is, though if the Zealots get close, they can get a fair amount of DPS, but the kite potential from the Roaches is totally enough to get rid of any sort of attack. And I think that you guys have seen GSL today, and there's been an attack from Hero playing against Rogue, going with a Prism and only Zealots. Unfortunately for him, it didn't go too well, but the intent was there, and it means if that worked on ladder, if that didn't work on ladder, it wouldn't do in GSL. So, well, lesson be learned here too. Stuff that works on ladder doesn't always work in a competition. Bayern here to cover on that rocks. No, I think this is a very good follow game here with the Monarchy Core and the Overlord. You're not gonna go away. You can easily abuse out of the Roach Ravager's corrosive bile here, and the hatchery being planted down. Charge upgrade is about to be completed, and we have now the Twilight Templar Archives about to be thrown down. And look at them. If these two pylons go down, man, this is the end for Horsemaster. This is totally the end. Observer on the way. Stalker here to clear out that Overlord, just scout everything. There's no third gas, and there's only 2 gas in the main base. No saturation. Prod production is not continuous, so basically gets a little bit less income than her opponent on that. But getting the lair is now Sitaska's plan, probably getting the Roach speed as well, and gonna go for the +2/+2 upgrades in short moments after the +1s being researched on that side. Though, is it going to be a long game, because Blood Boil has been known for having potential to harass and being like very atrocious for Protoss players. For the main reason that you have lots of areas you can abuse, and getting that third here is a very hard task to do, with this side being abusable with that rocks and this side being open as well. You can also harass here with drops or even Ravagers if you have vision, so anything can be a reason here for that third to not be taken and go for 2 base all in this time. But well, that gold base could make the difference though, and Zugs can take it out nice and warm. Of course, we have more Roaches and Lings being thrown down, as we have Immortals as well being produced by the robotics facility of Horsemaster. Getting the Templars and the Archons will be another deal here. And I think getting Splash rather than Archons, getting the Storm instead could be very interesting in that situation. Because getting Roaches to get under a constant DPS of Storms and Ravagers as well, it's different stuff when you have to pull back from Storms and breaking concaves in general, rather than getting a tanky attack unit that has minor splash. It really all depends on the amount of Lings and Roaches. There's nothing in the production tab for Horsemaster. Getting the Nexus and some probes started, some more, but not the push. The frontal push is coming, but there's more than enough here to deal with the rest of them. So getting that pylon is actually at the right timing here, not scouting even. Horsemaster knows that there's something coming, feeling like she needed to build that pylon at the moment. So yeah, Immortal, yeah, that's gonna be definitely enough to deal with them. But I'm curious, will the overcharge be triggered on time, or will these guys be able to snipe that pylon at the same time? No. Oh, okay, overcharge being triggered here, and now the rest of these units can actually attack. The Zerg is rushing in the charge here, proving oh, okay, this guy is actually attacking now. It's all about the deal, how these Roaches will make the deal against the rest of the Zealots. Now everything is being taken away, and I think, yeah, pulling back is the right solution here. We don't have anything to cover up for the rest of the DPS here that is there, so the Lings being dead, you don't have anything to buffer on the rest of your DPS of the Roaches here, so this is the situation we're looking for. Right now, Sitaska getting that third base economy, probably a fourth in a few moments. We still have lots of Roaches and Lings on the way. We have the plus attacks on both sides. We have the plus ranged, +2 ranged, and the +1 ground melee attack. So yeah, more attack, no defense. Who needs defense when you get the better offense? Of course, this is the strategy basics 101. Learn to be a good chess player. Always attack, get the pawns up and ready. Okay, the decision to go in the mid-map was not too bad, but I think with that little force, this was very risky. A link catch could happen so well, and a good concave from a player that has a good vision on the map is also happening very fast. And if Sitaska could have exploited that at the time, the game would be over already. High Templar on the way. Prism though, and only 4 gates. Let's not forget you, then I lose. I'm building these transitions, guy. I'm just trying to do my best here. As I'm being somewhat lame with the song, but we still have some action going on, and I'm really pleased to be here casting tonight. As we've seen, we've had lots of action, and we're gonna have some more in a few moments with this Roach Assault coming in down on Pylon. That Soul Pylon coming to be overcharged in a short moment. We still have lots of Zealot being blocked by the Adept here. Now pulling back with them, and now this is a very scary force for Horsemaster here. And now how will Sitaska respond? She's seen the army, she knows what's up, she knows that there's Immortals, she knows that there's Archons, approximately about the same amount of Archons that there's Immortals, so the answer would be definitely air right now. I would go Mutalisk with that. And just roam around the bases. This is a very immobile army, and we have no blink, we have 3 Stalkers. So probably Mutas or even Broodlords could make the cut here, but we don't have a Spire down. Have 3 bases and the 4th being on the gold. Infestation pit instead. So probably gearing up for Ultralisks. Or maybe something else. Getting in first is good. There could be a fair amount of damage if they take control of these guys, but I'm not so sure about. Oh, good catch though on these guys. They're gonna die for free here. No damage sustained at all in this attack. Look at them. Everything's dead on that side, and now lots of roaches can pull back for free as well. This Zealot's not gonna be able to survive for long if it keeps attacking here. Just an A move is actually enough here to take care of the rest of them. And look at this. Now this is not a good fight for Horsemaster here. And lots of the roaches can close in and get the rest of that DPS though on these roaches. We have lots of attack from the Immortals, but everything's perishing. The recall, isn't it a bit late though? Getting every Archon dead and all of the Immortals alive isn't still a good call here. More Ravagers being morphed, and we still have lots of roaches on the way. This is where Sitaska is shining with the army population and the worker supply as well. Everything's going in her favor with the 4th base against 3. Not yet completed as well in terms of saturation. So yeah, Housemaster right now is in a bit of a pinch as she's mining on 2 bases approximately. So 4 gateways as well, 3-7. +1 attack will not be the deal here. Overseers in case of DTs, but it's not right now happening. We have lots of links and roaches here. Everything's actually, look at the concave researched here. Everything's being under assault. Everything's, all of these pylons are dying, and look at the army just melting through the DPS with the oh no, you don't go in with the move command. Oh, the move command just is very fatal here for Horsemaster, losing every single unit that she could use to clear out that army. This is terrific right now. Horsemaster lost any hope to come back in that game. Getting that 3rd base will be the deal, sealing that game right now. Sitaska is looking very strong in that stage. Now all of that DPS is going down, and there's nothing in Horsemaster's side to be able to compete against it. This is where actually things go very wrong. Can totally actually go for the rocks here and be like, well, you know what, don't even need to go up the main base, just need to wait here. 22 probes taken away, the rest of them going through. No overcharges left. 1 immortal down, 2 immortals, but this is definitely not gonna be enough. More roaches streaming on the way as well, and we have more and more roaches on the production tab. Everything is looking on Sitaska's favor here right now, so lots of stalkers being walked in, but is it gonna be enough? GG called. Spawning on the bottom left of Defender's Landing, the yellow Zerg player leading 2-1 in this best of 5. It is Sitaska. On the other side, on the top right of Defender's Landing, the Protoss player that has to come back, Horsemaster. Little guy, go build the wall. Once again to close. Then this is definitely something that she needs to correct for the later games. The pull first. This is interesting. Though this is a map that leads to it though. Defender's Landing in opposition to the previous map that we've seen. Let me show you guys. Upzooming very hard. We see this is the distance. Probe is there at 50 after starting after the pylon, so there's a straight hallway down to the main base here. So There's no bad situation that could happen for the Lynx, no good detours that she could take. And now look at this. Horsemaster's like, well, I've seen the gas early, means that there's a pull, means that there's gonna be an assault. So probably gearing up for that Zealot defense here, or second gate or something. That could be interesting here for her. Let's see what happens as the second gate being will probably be thrown. Oh, no. A Nexus instead? Ooh, the balls here. Cutting out on the balls. Actually, she just scouted around, but I don't think that was necessary. And it's like you need creep to spawn on buildings. And yeah, everything is there to. Oh, you little guy don't want to mine gas? But that's good resources, man. You need it. You need that. Go for it. Go for it. Come on, man. Look at them. Look at these guys. 6 things on the way with the speedling on the way as well. There's ones that are not in the whole position here, and that could be terrific already. There's no seconds that are on the way, and now look at them rushing in through. Oh no, not even. Getting that pylon would be a good deal though. I think she's probably gonna use that Zealot to see like, well, there's 2 links on it, 3 links. Not even. No, okay, she's keeping it there. Probably getting the pylon to be down. Okay, that probe died as a hero here against 3 links, and now it's all about the cancel. I think this is gonna be cancelled out very quickly. And now look at this, the follow-up on one gas. This is 1 assault here, 1 assault only. Only getting this, and if it doesn't work, let's switch back on drones. This is what it says right now with 1 gas. Okay, micro time. It's not happening. The Zealot is unscathed at all, and we have still supply block though. Look at them guys morphing into banelings. I think this is gonna be the deal though. There's no mothership core on that side, and we still are supply block. No, the pylon number 2 is being completed there. So well, this is gonna be a tough situation. Will it be over already on that assault? We'll see that in a few seconds as these banelings will rush in up that main base and see with the rest of these links being produced out. 6 links on the way. Who's boss? Who's gonna be making the call here? First link's running in there, and look at this. Oh! Could have been way worse, actually. Could have been way worse. Oh no. Oh no, Horsemaster, no. Losing the rest of the pylons, everything's gonna be destroyed there. And if you get that last pylon, this is gonna be the end. There's no thing that could be produced out of him. No gateway supply. There's only 1 probe left, and the wall is completely open for the Zerglings to just rush in and deal damage. There's nothing that you can do, and all these pylons will not power up that cybernetics core. And this guy will be enough probably to clear this amount of links, but not the 10 that is on the protection are on the protection tab. Even though these ones are still rushing in though, this is a lot of attack. For attack power for Sitaska here, rushing in through the base, getting the pylons 1 by 1. This one's gonna be okay. This one's gonna be the overcharged target here, but she just has to rush away from this one, or even just name who can do the job here. Right now, there's nothing left, and I think she just probably could attack the mineral base, mineral line here, and deal damage with these guys. This is totally insane right now. The insane amount of damage that is gonna be input here from these Zerglings will tear down this mineral line. Nothing left. 6 probes taken down. 7, 8. Even more, 10, 11 probes, and more rushing in through that base. There's nothing that right now a Horsemaster can do to hold that assault. There's no overcharges left. There's only pylons produced, and well, you know what? GG called. Sitaska is the winner of that best of 5. 3-1.